LATD, of course, we are once again back in the studio with another edition of Saturday Morning Wrap Up. We're finally back to it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm always excited for this. This is pretty much my favorite form of content we put out for real.
Same.
I would say that this is definitely kind of our signature, our bread and butter. Glad we're finally getting back to it. And, you know, I mean, other videos have been going crazy on the channel as of late. You got the Obsession review. What else we got?
The cruise
vlog that just dropped. Y'all should definitely check that out.
And then the other wrap up we did about the Kendrick and Drake beef. Whole retrospective about that. The 2-year anniversary.
Yes.
That has like 600 views. Let's push that to 8, 9,
10,
11. I even skipped 7. You don't even mention 7.
You skipped 1,000. What is 10?
Let's just go with a quick millie. Come on, y'all.
For sure.
Like it up.
Right now.
Definitely thumbs that video up, comment on it, you know, whatever the case may be. But with that being said, we have a very, 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 very special topic. Something I've been wanting to do for months. That's been kind of sitting in my notes, the ideas.
That's a lot of words.
We are going to be discussing the runs of 6 of the most impactful rappers of the 2000s decade.
Now, let's see if you can name them. Let's go.
You got Kanye.
All right.
Lil Wayne, Eminem, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and of course the legendary duo Outkast.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
Now I feel like this makes sense for us to do because obviously we grew up in the 2000s, so that's more of near and dear to our hearts. And I think we were more present to understand what these artists meant to the culture at the time, as opposed to trying to do the 80s, 90s. Because I mean, it's like shit, we wasn't there. So
right, yeah, it'll be easier to do this much easier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe late 90s at the very least.
Yeah, because these artists right here really kind of, in my opinion, most informed our sort of like worldview on hip hop, kind of our perspective on it. In my opinion, I feel like these will probably be the most impactful, influential rappers for us of our generation. So yeah, just any thoughts that y'all had? Anything? We're gonna be ranking this based on. Well, in my opinion, for me, cultural impact, overall consistency in terms of projects, top to bottom, from the beginning of the decade to the end, how they revolutionized, innovated the genre, what they brought to it, and just overall, just, you know, the lyricism, the quality, just everything is a factor for me. That's how I'm basing my rankings.
I agree. So do you want to start from like bottom to top?
We definitely, we're starting from 6 all the way to number 1.
Yeah, because me personally, number 6 for me is kind of painful to say.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll let y'all go first.
But yeah, I'll say that, you know, this was definitely a hard thing to do because really looking at these artists, these guys were the pinnacle of like hip hop culture. Like each of these runs are so different in their own way. These guys really are the pinnacle, but they all did things different. In my opinion, that's what hip hop is supposed to be about. It's innovation. It's bringing something new that people haven't seen, that people haven't felt, and just how you sort of leave a legacy and a mark on this culture.
Right.
You know, leaving the game better than when you entered. That's what I look at it as. And, you know, like these 6 artists, in my opinion, you can't get better than them in terms of the 2000s when it comes to rap.
I agree.
So with that being said, anything else y'all had to say? Anything else y'all wanted to add before we get right into it?
Feel free to disappoint me, Rodney.
Oh, for sure. Oh, you definitely gonna be disappointed. I already know you.
I'm pre-disappointed. I'm disappointed tomorrow.
Now, when I suggested this idea, you was like, oh.
Just bullshit.
He's fuck. But that's all you had to say?
Yeah, that's all I can do to prepare myself.
There you go. Matter of fact, if that's the case, I want you to go first.
Yeah.
Who's the first artist on your list? Ranking it at number 6.
Ronnie, you know who's number 6.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Jay-Z is number 6.
Okay. I'm disappointed personally.
I feel like,
okay,
yes, there's some validity to the criteria that you had laid out for me constituting a run, because that's what this is about, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
constituting a run, I feel like there would have had to be a period where this particular individual was the guy for at a minimum of like 3-ish years to me.
Okay.
I don't see that.
Okay.
So that's why I appreciate this. Not that he wasn't operating at a high level, because of course he was. But I feel like a lot of weight gets put on his consistency rather than pure domination of it.
That's a fair point.
That's why he's 6 to me.
And see, that's a fair point. And that's what I like about this idea, because I feel like a run, it just kind of, it means a lot of different things, in my opinion. There's a lot of different things that go into a run. As far as, like you say, you hit on consistency. But you feel like overall he wasn't at the top. He wasn't the top guy, basically. Pause. But with that being said, he wasn't the one that was really.
I concur.
He wasn't the one. He was the one. So you would say he was the nigga that was really taking over culture for real.
Not like the other people on this list.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, this is not necessarily what it's about, but you did talk about the 90s, and I kind of took him out for that because other shit was just different. Other shit was going on, so I didn't really see that was valid either.
Okay.
But
that's all you had to say on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty much. You go ahead. 6 for you.
I had to revamp my number 6.
All right.
And I'm glad I did, because I feel like it was going to be a bad take anyway. But honestly, I got 50 Cent as my number 6. Mainly because I feel like his albums were great for what they were, but I feel like a lot of his run was carried by Get Rich or Die Trying. When there are other rappers whose albums on this list really propelled
It's a big word for Elmo.
Elmo say, what the fuck?
I really feel like that. I'm playing. No, I really feel like a lot of other artists' albums on this list really propelled their careers further.
Yeah. They added something new with each and every album.
Exactly.
Okay. They didn't have anything that took away from the run.
But when you hear 50 Cent, all you hear is the same songs on Get Rich or Die Trying.
I mean, he had Many Men off of what was that? Massacre?
Yeah.
I think Massacre was off of that. Or Many Men was off of Massacre.
Yeah, but you only hear those few songs. You don't really hear about like the album collectively.
Yeah.
So that's why it's at number 6 for me. I just felt like his discography is very one-dimensional.
Okay. There's no growth or evolution.
No, not at all. And it's the same case here when it comes to his rapping. Well, he does he really just does all of the rapping for the Powered TV show and then the spinoffs respectively.
Of course.
Which he can still rap for sure. Don't get me wrong. He was skilled even at that time to a degree. But I just feel like it's just the same old thing that we've all been used to hearing from him. He's kind of like damn, I don't want to put it like this. I don't want to compare him necessarily, but he's kind of like as far as lyricism is concerned, he's a less skilled Pusha T.
Subject matter wise, I can see that.
Like subject matter wise, that's what
not
it is.
Crazy.
That's what I mean. That's like you surprised?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Like I've said crazy shit before. Oh, you was not surprised. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it.
I mean, yes, you have, but that wasn't where we were going with that.
But like I'm not trying to downplay 50 Cent and his skill and what he's done for the culture as a whole. But I just feel like his subject matter wise, it's just been the same over and over again. He's, like I said, just a less skilled Pusha T, personally.
With the catalog that light, I feel like that was inevitable.
Yeah, right. And that's why he's at number 6 for me, personally.
That's it.
But God bless him. God bless him. He's still a great artist. It's just
yeah. I mean,
I'm glad I switched up.
Let me go ahead and get mine. I actually agree with you. I have 50 at 6 because I feel like yes, you could argue 50's peak was one of the highest peaks in hip hop history, right? with one album, mind you. Get Rich or Die Trying propel him to a level that most artists never see in any form of music. But I feel like with him, the run ended pretty much as soon as it started.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Massacre came out in 2007, and that kind of carried it still to a degree. And he was still on fire, but he never really did anything as great as that first project. Where I feel like a lot of these other artists kind of like sort of like doubled down with more albums after, like they kind of contributed further and further to their run. It didn't really just kind of start and then peak with one album. I feel like 50, yeah, of course 50 dominated culture for sure.
Yeah.
50 Cent was easily one of the biggest artists of the 2000s just off of that one album alone. But I feel like after that, like I said, his run kind of ended as soon as it started. Yeah, 2003, of course, he was going crazy. But by the time you get to 2007, that's when it started to get a little bit shaky anyways. Even before the Kanye thing. Even before that, he was already kind of like, his legacy was already starting to be kind of in question. Because you could argue 50 never really grew as a lyricist. He didn't really ever do anything to like innovate. For real.
No, not really.
So we kind of like, was maybe the brightest star, but he burned out quicker than anybody else.
Just kind of taking a look at the Massacre and Get Rich or Die Trying. I feel like those two albums instead just really propelled his career further. But after that, it just kind of went stagnant.
Oh, 100%. So by the time you get to 2009, first of all, Curtis in 2007, the only reason we know the album exists is because of the whole thing with Kanye. Yeah. That going up against Graduation, like them releasing on the same day. That's the only reason we even know anything about that album. And then you get to 2009. By the time you get to that, he's pretty much completely burned out. Most people don't even know he even had another album in 2009.
I didn't know he had another album since the Massacre.
Yeah.
The first time I heard of Curtis was when you put it on the text really.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I agree.
That's pretty much all I had to say on 50. And then also on top of that, as a lyricist, he wasn't operating at as high of a level as any of these other guys too. That's another thing.
Nah. Not even in the slightest.
I feel like he was carried purely almost by aura and just kind of by like his origin story. He was shot 9 times. The music industry gave up on him, but then M and Dre sort of put that battery in his back, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
In the club video.
Wow.
Literally, we just watched that, but so it's kind of like I feel like his aura and sort of his swag and his what he did as far as like his mythology, that kind of is what really sold him.
Because he's by far the worst lyrically here.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like it ain't even close.
Yeah, no, for real. Not even just lyrically, just on on the skill level, like on the technicality level.
Yeah,
I would also argue.
But that also said, but like you said, that also says a lot about his aura and the way he could command a crowd too.
Oh, 100%.
So congrats to him in that regard too. You know,
I would definitely say he put Shady Records on his back.
He did
because because he came out in 2003. M had Encore in 2004, but then after that, M was gone. So 50 pretty much was like helming the ship at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much all I had to say about 50.
All right.
Yeah,
your number 5, DJ.
50 Cent.
Oh man, you put Jay-Z down there out of pure spite, didn't you?
I just don't see it. I don't really see it. I'm not like, to me,
from an unbiased perspective,
that's literally the only thing in it. Like that moment or that period where you see this person everywhere. They're on everything.
Right.
They're doing Don't Mock Me. They're everywhere. They're on all the features. They're all the awards. They're that, and that's not to say Jay-Z isn't awarded, and I'm not downplaying the awards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like at a lot of pivotal points, arguments can be made that there were bigger people than him at that time. And that's why it's shaky. It's,
okay.
It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. No pun intended. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
Which is fair. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it's not a technical thing because I watched some of the Roots performance, the Roots picnic performance. Like I'm not against bro, but I'm not unequivocally sold on this concept.
Okay. Especially like, compared to some of these other people, I can understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what, like I said, makes this conversation so unique is because you can look at all these runs in so many different sort of perspectives. You can look at it in so many different ways. But yeah, going back to your fifth, what made you put 50?
50 Cent. I honestly, I love a good first album. Illmatic.
One of the greatest debut albums of all time.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, I think when you come out the gate to that level, I feel like you did everything you really had to do. Like you can keep going, but I feel like he done hit so many of the goals out the gate.
Then what else is there to do, basically?
So because the fact that we're still talking about him when he really only had 2 good albums, that should kind of tell you something.
You know what? I can understand that. Like, that makes sense. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only note I had. Get Rich or Die Trying. That's the only note I had next to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this is pretty much the actual same thing we said.
Literally.
It's just...
But I personally, I don't give a fuck how quick the nigga burns out. Were you there? And then
were you at the top of the mountain? Yeah.
Were you there for a period of time?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. 50 did run New York. We can't say from 03 to at least 05. He, especially because by 03, Jay had retired technically. Because he retired in 02.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I lied. Black Album came out that same year. And Jay didn't come back till Kingdom Come.
In what, 2003?
Yeah, 2003. Black Album came out in 03. He didn't come back until 2006. So he, for sure, 50 was definitely king in New York at that point. Undeniably. You can't say that.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Because who else was there? Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Type shit.
So for sure, I mean Nas was there, but what 50
he
was doing
at that
yeah, but Nas's prime was in like not the 90s.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
They were in different places.
Okay, yeah, true. So they weren't in the same hemisphere, I guess you could say.
I mean, you could say you had the Game.
Who?
The Game?
Isn't he from LA?
Oh, you said New York.
I'm about to say,
I thought you meant era-wise.
I thought you were trying to be funny. Okay, that's not.
A little bit.
Nah, for real. I mean, that's a classic debut album, too.
Yeah, the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all you had to say for your pick?
Yeah, that was it for me.
Okay, well, there you go. Shit, you next.
See, it pains me to kind of say this.
It pains me to listen.
But I'm gonna have to go with Wayne on this one.
Really? Wayne at 4th or at 5th?
And see, and that's
Elaborate.
And that's why it's like it's either between Eminem or Wayne for me.
Really?
Because it's the hardest. Like for me, my criteria was more. It's also about the culture too. Because you got Wayne, who arguably is the inferior rapper to Eminem, but culturally,
that's the
he's the exactly.
Heavily.
That's
like
extremely
arguably, yeah. But at the same time, I might have to. Yeah, I'm gonna go with M on this one. On number
M at 5th?
I'm at 5th, yeah.
Okay.
Like I understand the popularity, the wave, and like I love him as a lyricist and as an artist, but culturally, a lot of people rock with him, but they don't really rock with him too much. Like he's
respected more than anything.
He's respected more than anything because he's more like how can I put this? He's more like respected because you see the work ethic and you gotta respect the achievements that he has.
But it's not necessarily for you.
But it's not for you, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's not necessarily for us per se. But with that being said, you can't deny this man's greatness. Like you can't deny that didn't he like sell the most albums or something like
Easily.
that? And it's like and that's why. And with his lyricism, with the fact that how he's changed, like he changed the game for a lot of like white rappers, especially out there. The lyricism, the skill, the fact that he went from being kind of somewhat of a jokey type of rapper to but still being taken seriously as a rapper back then. With what
he was legit.
Trying to
His
do.
skill was always legit.
Exactly.
Especially
like,
because
that says a lot by itself.
When you come out co-signed by Dr. Dre.
Exactly.
That, that kind of says everything it needs to say. He was getting co-signs from Dre, Snoop. Snoop was on his second album, so that said a lot.
Right, I agree. It's just, and that's why, like, I put him at 5th though, because culturally, like, ain't nobody really gonna put Eminem above Lil Wayne culturally.
I think you'd be surprised by that, honestly.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, some people would, but the core base of hip hop fans.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, ain't gonna put him like, cause just the only thing that really holds him back is the fact that he. This gonna sound racist as fuck. Is the fact that he white. If we being real, that's the only gripe people have with him. That's the only gripe a lot of hip hop fans have with him. Is just the fact that he white, which is unfair in my personal opinion.
He addressed this in White America, funny enough.
Exactly. So it's like, I think it's still unfair, but you can't deny the man's greatness for what he is. It pains me to put him at 5, but that's really the only reason. Just because of culturally, he's not gonna. I don't think I need to say much anymore.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I hate that I gotta do it, but
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
My 5th. I got Cass at 5th. I do. As a run, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you exactly why.
Stopping you, nigga, go.
Because for me, Outkast, they started out the decade with one of the greatest albums ever made, right? Stankonia, which has, of course, So Fresh, So Clean, Miss Jackson, cultural anthem, some of the greatest songs ever to this day. You still hear them songs. And then they doubled down with Speaker Box Love Below in 03, right? So
one album of the year.
One of the only
double album.
Yeah. The first rap group to win album of the year, and only the second rap group or the second rap act ever to this day to ever win that. So that in and of itself is an achievement, right? Hey Y'all was on there. Roses was on there. What else was on there? Way You Move. So it's so all the moments in there and everything is there for sure. But I feel like, again, Outkast didn't really have as much of a complete run, because by the time you get to the end of the decade, they're already pretty much done. Because I feel like Speaker Box Love Below was pretty much the end for them. So as soon as they got there with that real 2000s run, they were done, in my opinion.
Respect.
That's how I feel about it.
Respect.
Now, of course, the Love Below paved the way culturally for artists like Kanye and Drake later on to be able to sing and kind of express themselves in a different sort of emotional way with albums that they did. But like I said, for me, when I think of a run, I think top to bottom, what did you do throughout the whole decade? That's like, including if you have like a high peak, like an insanely high peak, but overall it's like, what did you do during that time period overall? Okay. So for me, that's why I have Outkast at 5th. Nothing against him. It's my favorite hip hop duo ever. It's my favorite rap group of all time. But that's just how, when I look at a run, that's just my personal take on it.
Right. I can respect that.
For sure. Yes, sir.
I can't. But
I knew you was gonna have a problem with that. I knew.
That's why I was.
I knew.
I'm a little.
some bullshit.
See, that's why I like having these conversations.
And you need to know this.
This is why I love having these conversations, because the passion is all there equally, but we can be having some different ass takes, and that makes for some good content. So, like I said, that's why I got Outkast. Don't get me wrong, I love Outkast. Outkast was some of my first favorite rappers too, but that's just what I look at.
I respect that.
So yeah,
more or less.
Outkast for 5th for me.
Okay. I guess.
Who do you have? Mind you, we still got a whole video to do. So
what for 4th?
For 4th, yeah.
Yeah, I got Eminem at 4.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I didn't really listen to him like that, as just like growing up or whatever. But I'm a big like skill person, so I recognize that. I recognize the anomaly that he was.
Okay.
For me, See the Run didn't really like get into the music a whole lot.
I understand
So
that. The music definitely ain't for everybody.
That's why he's at that point. But I definitely recognize the skill and the anomaly that he was, and the popularity, and just the whole wave that was a thing. But yeah, it just wasn't necessarily for me.
Okay.
Are we?
She, you next?
I know.
You was next. Who you got for fourth?
Sorry, y'all. Some people texting me about some bullshit, but
Be like that.
No, for real.
a number 4. I got Wayne at number 4.
Okay.
Same thing I said about Eminem, but the difference is it was about the culture. His run was overall to me better. Well, that's about it. It's kind of about a tie for me, but culturally, seeing the impact that he's had on hip hop, especially now where everybody having Lil in their name, face tats, and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But going into the albums by themselves, like 3 classic albums.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. Even I'm Not a Human Being is probably his. Would y'all say that's his worst? One of his worst albums, or one of the last of his good albums? You know what I'm saying?
His run extended, in my opinion, his prime extended past this decade for sure. But as far as focusing on the 2000s,
yeah,
3 classic albums, I would say.
Yeah, definitely three.
I would say all the Carters are classic.
Yeah, I love
the first
Carter.
3.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I grew up more with Carter. I grew up more listening to Carter 4 too. Like, don't get me wrong, 1, 2, and 3 are classic. But I say 4 is a classic too.
4 is a classic too.
I say 4 is a classic.
I would think because 4 had what did 4 have? It had Blunt Blowing on it, didn't it? Mm-hmm. It had that. It had
Mirror.
6 Foot 7 Foot. One of my favorite songs of all time. Mirror was on there. How to Love was on there too.
How to Love.
So yeah, I think most people would call it a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's like out of those 4,
like
it's
culturally,
probably,
it's for sure a classic. I would say.
Yeah, definitely. That's what, and that's why it's a lot. That's why it's here with for a classic with me. I just think Wayne is really a top tier lyricist, like, of all time. Probably, I damn near, lyricism wise, I'd damn near say like probably top 15 to top 10.
I would say that.
And just from all the witty punchlines by themselves,
probably the greatest punchline rapper of all.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that for sure. But it's just, but as far as like, you know, subject matter, that kind of ain't really.
Yeah, I can definitely.
That's what knocks him down a peg, because he literally raps about the same shit,
and has for 20 years.
Yeah, so that's what knocks him down a peg in the list for me, subject matter wise. But culturally, like, that's why I put him above Eminem, because culturally he got his hand and his hand is in it. Yeah, all the way. Like, he's like easily one of my favorite rappers of all time. Even though I wouldn't put him up against, like, you know, people like Kendrick, but he's definitely up there for me for sure. If y'all seen our top 25 favorite rappers video that y'all should go watch right now,
most definitely
after this one.
Nice little callback.
Yes, sir. What I'm saying? That's been a minute ago.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why. But the only reason why he's at number 4 is because I feel like all the other rappers better than him are better than him. Okay. Overall, like from a discography perspective, and from a whole skill. Yeah, I say a whole skill perspective.
I think past this point is where we start to get into like the top lyricists of of that generation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why and Wayne just being his subject matter being so one dimensional, some similar to 50 Cent, but the difference is he said it in a more witty way. Yeah. That's what kind of keeps him from being upper echelon. I can see that. Because you got Jay-Z, of course, with his double entendres. Outkast by themselves, individually, are great. Even though I feel like Big Boy kind of got underrated because of Andre.
I agree with that.
But I feel like if you would have put all of them in a battle, I think they'd like Outkast, like either one, Big Boy versus Lil Wayne would smoke him in a whole battle.
Wayne was on a song of theirs, Idlewild. Yeah. Yeah, Hollywood Divorce.
Yeah.
Extremely underrated song, by the way.
Yeah, underrated album.
He killed that verse too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's like
I think he rapped like for half the song or some shit like that.
Something like that. So so maybe I need to check my sources on that.
He was,
But nah, but that's just why he's at number 4 for me. Because like I said, I just feel like he like skill wise, these guys are a little bit better than him, and as far as subject matter and different styles of discographies and everything. Like, sure, you got How to Love on Carter 4, but do you really
evolution for sure.
It is an evolution, but it's not a very good evolution. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that he can't really sing. Like, you know, they're like, do you really want to hear Lil Wayne to sing, or do you want to hear him?
You remember when he tried to do a rock album, Rebirth? That was the first crack in the run, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
He ran into a wall. No outfield.
No, facts. That nigga, he was running. He's oh shit.
Cracked your face.
Who the fuck told Wayne to pick up that guitar? Nigga, if you don't cut them verses.
Like, do you really...
Punch in. Where's the skateboard?
Like, would you really go into a Lil Wayne album expecting to hear a lot of critics try to steal your heart?
That's around the time he started to use
really
more auto-tune.
You know, really, hello.
Exactly.
You know, his respiratory. You know.
I don't like it, forever.
Exactly.
Like, I don't go into like.
You sound like after puberty James Brown. I ain't ready to know he can't do magic.
And that's why, but yeah, man, like that's why when it came to Mirror, leave the singing to the singers, because
Mirror's a classic.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Leave the singing to the singers.
He left the singer to
How to Love is a classic too.
It more or less, but you know, it's just.
I feel like most people our generation would say How to Love is an undeniable Wayne classic.
Okay.
I would definitely. Would you say that? I would say that for sure.
But I am what I'm trying to hear from Wayne.
I like the song.
I like the two, but it ain't the best. Like, just because the fact that he's singing on it, like, I can't sing. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, that's my number 4.
Motherfuckers out right now that can't sing, still singing.
No, yeah, 100%.
Well, with that being said, he do sound better than a lot of them fuckers, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, because he's staying, at least Wayne stay in his lane. His voice sound nasally and raspy on when he rapping. It sound nasally and raspy when he's singing. So
the respiratory.
Yeah, they got a lot of crooked trying to steal your heart, nigga. Never really had love.
That's it.
You sound like a Sesame Street pimp.
Spell your ABC, nigga.
yeah. That. With that being said, my fourth is Jay-Z.
Oh,
The Rock for sure. Hov.
It's The Rock.
No, for me, Jay is my fourth because between 2000 and 2009, Jay released 7 solid albums. Jay never really had no crack in the armor when it comes to his albums. Pretty much everything was either good to legendary to classic. With Blueprint and Black Album being some of the greatest albums of all time. Being albums that are still routinely quoted this day that had real cultural impact. Like, we still hear people say stuff like, allow me to reintroduce myself to this day because of that album. And then Blueprint on top of that put Kanye and Just Blaze on as some of the premier hip-hop producers and really just producers in general of their era, which of course we already know what Kanye went on to be. So you have that, and then also I will argue that Jay was the flagship artist of what was pretty much arguably the greatest rap label of all time in its heyday. Rockefeller, if you had the Rockefeller cosign, if you had the Rockefeller chain, you were there. Like, you were on, like, for real. Like, there were people who literally, like, they used to crown people with the rock chain. Like, literally, like, if you signed, you got the rock chain. And that was, like, a cultural moment. That was a significance. And I feel like Jay just really, like, revolutionized business in hip-hop. Like, as far as, like, you as a rapper and being mindful and managing your business. Like, he really, like, sort of wrote the blueprint. Pun intended, of course, on that. Yeah, no, I know. I couldn't help myself. But, yeah, no. And, you know, as he said on Blueprint, he said, show him how to move in a room full of vultures. Like, he really showed you as an artist, as a businessman, how to really, like, thrive in the industry. So I feel like that culturally is still felt to this day. And plus, he signed Kanye, Cole, and Rihanna all in the same decade. And then on top of that, he ended the 2000s with his very first #1 single, 13 years into his career. So that's longevity.
Yeah, I agree.
Which a lot of artists by that point that were from his era had been burnt out. By the time you get to 2009, Nas had pretty much kind of already his era had come and went as far as his dominance.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Jay was the only truly relevant rapper from the 90s that was still doing it at that level by that point.
Right.
So that in and of itself, that kind of run and that kind of consistency, and plus he had them peaks of like artistic like mastery. Yeah. That's why I will put Jay-Z at 4.
At 4? Okay.
Yeah, 4 for sure.
Oh, I know who probably 3, 2, and 1.
You already know who's won.
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't mad at that.
And then also, like, side note, Rockaware. Rockaware, like, everybody wanted Rockaware. Everybody wanted to dress in the clothing brand and whatnot. But that's what I'm saying. But that revolutionized how artists do business. Like, he kind of showed people how to really thrive and eat as a rapper.
Yeah, my mom wasn't going to give me no Rockaware.
Hell no, man. I'm not surprised by that.
My mom would got me Jesus wear. That's what it is. Church pants, church shoes. If it was up to her, man, I wouldn't even know what J's were if it was up to her.
Nah, for real.
I don't even know what J's meant. I thought she just would have meant me. Like,
worried about Rockaway. You need to be worried about when the rock
rolled
over from that tomb.
Exactly. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, that's why Jay my 4th.
Mm-hmm. Respect. Now your number 3. Now your number 3, please. We already know how you feel about this, bruh. You said it in your number 6.
He said he prepared to be disappointed.
Yeah, you could be mad with me then.
I already know y'all niggas full of shit. I already know. I came in here knowing.
That's why you delayed recording the video for so long.
I seen it. Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye West.
Okay. I'm
kind of surprised to hear that he
that
high.
Now for real. I'm surprised.
I was in a box. I was kind of put in a box. But let me see what I put. I forgot my points. Oh yeah. So basically, just being a ridiculously talented double threat.
Okay.
I would say. Can you?
You didn't use the force push on that nigga.
Shit. A ridiculously talented double threat, and he also brought in a style that I wasn't really seen in that way at that time, at that level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I feel like that's where he is. He's number 3 in this for me. At the level of people, he kind of fits in his own little pocket because it wasn't really street shit, really, like most of the niggas. So
pretty much all these niggas.
Still, yeah, but he still kind of carved out his space though. For me, I think he still, if he wasn't how he is right now
to this day,
because he still, I've seen videos of him producing over the phone. Like he's telling you, nah, chop this, EQ this, cut out the frequency here, over the phone.
Yeah, no, for real, Kanye different. If you look at, there's a video on YouTube called Kanye West making an ill track. You just like see like the way his mind was working towards this, and this is young Kanye. This might have been before Dropout was even out. Like, cause he's got the rock chain on and everything. Like, you know how he used to dress too, like the baggy pants and whatnot. Like, this is super young Kanye.
Yeah, I agree.
And you could just see how ahead he was, just his mind as a musician, not just even just a rapper. Like, you really just see like this guy was gonna be something special if this wasn't already past, Dropout,
right,
where he had arrived. But anything else you wanted to add to that?
No.
You said that's pretty much it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you already know I don't really mess with Kanye like that, but I'm
you got to give credit where it's due.
In the spirit of honesty.
Yeah. Yeah, I respect that. My third?
Yeah.
Well, number 3, I personally got Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. What is there to say? I feel like when it comes to this list, Jay-Z is kind of like the godfather in a way of these runs. Because...
That's a fair point. Because when you really think about it, not to cut you off, a lot of these guys actually were influenced by Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys, a lot of them, their careers were either directly helped and influenced by Jay, or artistically speaking,
in some way, shape, or form.
They're kind of like his offspring to a degree.
I was literally about to say it's like a family tree.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, it's really like a family tree. Like with him being such a great rapper and you can't say businessman too.
Not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
Exactly. Like you can tell that he has his hand in a lot of these different rappers' careers in some way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to like 50 Cent and Wayne and all of them.
For sure. Because, like, not to cut you off again, my fault, but when 50 first got on, a lot of people don't realize this, and we were talking about this the other day. When 50, I think it was like Summer Jam or it was something like that. This was before 50 got signed by M and Dre. This was like the late 90s when Jay was already kind of like coming up. Mm-hmm. 50 got on stage and he had a song, like a freestyle, basically saying he's going to rob like all of like the biggest rappers in the game, like the guys who were on like the biggest run. And one of them he said is Jay-Z. So I feel like 50 always was kind of chasing Jay in a way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I feel like Jay-Z was doing everything that Dr. Dre was doing. Plus being I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that he's a superior rapper.
That's not.
Like, he was doing everything Dre was doing, arguably to a better degree. Well, more quantitative degree. Because when you say quality, you got Eminem, you got 50, so, you know.
Yeah.
But more quantitative degree, like when we got Benny Siegel, Dame Dash, Memphis Bleak, Saunders, Kanye.
Cameron.
And it's like in Cameron, yeah. Even though their careers didn't really last or weren't as efficient and didn't last as long as 50 and M, that still says a lot about the way that he's been able to do business with a lot of these artists. Because the best product of I hate to put it like this, but best product of Jay-Z's recruiting, I'll say it like that. That sounds better. It's really Kanye. Regardless of whether or not you want to say whether Kanye made his own way, which he did,
yeah, and
you'll see why I say that. You can still give Jay-Z some of that credit too, because you can argue that if he didn't discover Kanye wouldn't be who he is today.
I agree with that 100%.
And on top of that, I didn't even get to the albums. Like the albums themselves, even from Reasonable Doubt, I loved them. My personal favorite album from him is really 2K13. Yeah. But I mean,
that's mine.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of his songs are on 2K13. But no, it was really Blueprint 3. That's why, because it came out in 13. But I was thinking about NBA 2K13, and that's because he pretty much produced all of the music on there.
Yeah.
And all the music you hear from Blueprint 3 is pretty much on the 2K13 soundtrack. But I digress. Blueprint 3 for me really stood out because this is something that I grew up with the most. But when I heard
Town is on there.
Exactly. When I heard Reasonable Doubt, that's some of the best rapping that I've heard from him, most definitely.
Easily.
But Blueprint by itself, yeah, I see why you love that album so much.
I think that's his best outing as a musician.
I can agree. I think the Black Album is probably his best, like from a lyricism conscious perspective to a degree.
Lyricism conscious and just in terms of just like being a tighter album, I agree with that.
Yeah, if I'll put it like this, the Blueprint is Good Kid, Mad City, and Black Album, which ironically, because Pimp a Butterfly is black and white, would be Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Blueprint 2 and 3 would be like Damn and Mr. Morale in some cases. But that's why I put Jay-Z at 3. Just the influence that he's had on the culture as a whole, really. Even more than Wayne has to a degree.
Because, Wayne came up basically studying Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z was Wayne's favorite rapper. So much so that inspired his rap style. Like, because when he found out that Jay don't write his raps down, he never, ever, ever wrote his lyrics ever again after that. So much to the point where the nigga can't even remember his own lyrics. You seen that damn interview? They were reading his lyrics. Oh shit, that's hard. Nigga, that's you.
Exactly, yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
this shit up. You said it.
He said, I don't really remember that.
Brain is fried.
No, for real, you can see it in his face. You can see it in his face for real, for real.
Yeah, man. But with that being said, I feel like it's kind of like a chess game to a degree. Mm-hmm. While you could say Wayne is like the priest influencing the pawns, but Jay-Z is kind of like the queen in a way, making all the moves.
Yeah.
On a chessboard, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I say what I say, you know. Because the pawns being like, you know, the other lower tier rappers, you know, and Wayne being the knight or the bishop or the rook or either however you want to say it. Like, he has influence on them because the lesser tier artists have like the same face tags like I mentioned when I was talking about Wayne. But Jay-Z is kind of the king or the queen that put all that shit together. Well, he's more like the king then in that case because he put all that shit together.
Yeah.
He's the one that makes the shit run. He's the one that's kind of that you got to protect at the end of the day. Too.
Wayne said that his favorite song I think ever is "Lucky Me" by Jay off of Volume 1.
Yeah.
Like he has like I think he has like the whole one of the verses tatted on his leg.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I think that speaks to Jay's cultural.
Yeah, exactly, sure. And that's why I had him at my 3 personally. But yeah, man.
Okay.
Your number 2.
My number 3, actually.
Your number 3.
Yes, sir.
We so used to you going first.
My third is Lil Wayne.
Respect.
For sure is Wayne, because when I think of a run, when I think of like just a complete run, there's almost no other artist that embodies this like Lil Wayne. Because starting out, Wayne, he went on arguably the greatest feature run of all time in the 2000s.
I'll give you that. Yep.
Almost every single song Wayne was on, once his verse started, it was his.
It was his. That's why he would always go last in all of them.
Yeah, because
you could say Wayne was kind of like the Bernie Mac of the rap game to a degree.
Wayne was snatching everybody's song, everybody, and not even just that.
At a certain point, thank you.
The mixtapes, like the beat, like if Wayne rapped on your beat, he would make the song his own, and he would almost do it better. So you got that. You got the fact that he released classic album and classic mixtape literally at an inhuman rate. Because from 2000 to 2009, he had the Carter 2, the Carter 3. Mind you, the Carters 1 and 2 came out back-to-back years, 04 and 05.
Right.
So you have that. And I think Wayne also is responsible for kind of pushing hip-hop to a new level of like notoriety in the mainstream. I think Wayne pretty much put Southern hip-hop on his back. If I'm being real, other than Outkast, I think Wayne was the guy that really kind of carried that further. Because Outkast definitely paved the way as far as Southern hip hop, but Wayne, I think, was like the Southern rapper that really like was so big that regionality didn't matter no more.
Yeah.
Because you remember, like, we've had this conversation before. Before, there was a certain thing where it's like if you were influenced by a certain rapper, it's because they came from your city or they came from your coast. Wayne was the guy that kind of was so big that he bypassed that. Because even other rappers coming up back then was influenced by Wayne. And Wayne, of course, a New Orleans rapper, but when we think of Wayne, we don't even think of him as a Southern rapper. We think of Lil Wayne. And he's one of the first rappers, in my opinion, that did that. So just on that point alone, I'll say that Carter 2 came out, it sold 1 million first week.
You look,
I'm just saying.
You cooking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, the Carter 3 sold 1 million first week. There's very few rappers in the history of the genre, him, and a few others, that came out and did 1 million first week. So that speaks to what Lil Wayne was. And then if you want to debate it on like a cultural standpoint, we talk about how like Jay was sort of like the blueprint, like the guy people was chasing, right? And we talk about how Jay was sort of the guy that other people wanted to be like, or other people were influenced by most when it comes to just these guys. At barely 25 years old, people in the barbershop was legitimately debating Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z. Mind you, Jay is already almost a 10-year veteran. And Wayne is just really getting hot like that. And people are arguing that Wayne is on the same level, if not higher than Jay. Like Jay himself, even like in an interview that Wayne did in 2020, in fact, when he was on Drink Champs,
Yeah. I remember.
They were like doing like quotes, basically other artists talking about Wayne and like his career and whatnot. And Jay himself said that when he heard the "Show Me What You Got" remix off of the Drought 3, Jay himself had to look in the mirror and say, "Do I still got this for real?" Because this guy right here is like, he's really like on me for real. Like if I don't really like, lock in and do what I need to do, this guy's gonna surpass me.
And you could argue that that he has.
Yeah, at one point I would say so. And mind you, how old was Wayne when that was said? This was 2007. I think Wayne was like at most 24, 25.
Yeah.
So that speaks to what Wayne was like by that point. Just at that point, this is before the Carter 3. This is before like he really took over the world. Mm-hmm. So that also speaks to it. And then I'll say he had his finger on the pulse of culture.
Yeah.
When you think about it, every kid on the playground back then, who was their favorite rapper? It was Lil Wayne. When it comes to our community, comes to like the black community, who didn't want to be Wayne? Who didn't compare themselves to Wayne? Who didn't memorize? Whose features was everybody memorizing the most? Had to be Wayne. Because I mean,
with that being said, the first feature I memorized was a look at me now feature. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly, and that was from multiple generations. That was from multiple years, past just going to 2000s.
Yeah, that's still my favorite. That's still my favorite feature by him to this day.
Yeah, exactly. You want to look at, like I said, cultural influence. Also, I mean, he signed Nicki and Drake. So regardless of what the niggas is now, he signed two of the biggest artists of all time. I mean, numbers wise, they still are, but like that's what I'm saying. It speaks to what Young Money was. So
yeah, well, all jokes aside, you do got a point.
And Wayne did that. If we talk about Jay doing that, Wayne did that, and he was still not even like 30 himself, and he already discovered two artists that would go on to be some of the biggest of all time, that would have their own legacies and their own cultural impact. Kind of akin to him, to be real.
Yeah, I agree.
And then
I see why you said that.
And then to end off the decade, 2009, he drops what's arguably one of the greatest mixtapes ever. Well, inarguably, No Ceilings. And that's how he ended the decade. From top to bottom, Wayne was pretty much perfect in the 2000s. There really ain't too many misses from him. Not in terms of a mixtape, not in terms of an album. He said what?
I said not perfect enough to be number one. No.
Apparently not.
It's just like that, and that's why it did pain me to put him at like number 4 because it's like because I know it's just me personally. I just like these artists a little bit more.
Okay.
That's really kind of all really.
Okay.
But it did pain me because I knew like he really had a grip on the culture like that.
For sure.
But
he was the best rapper alive, and he could claim that.
He could, but anyway.
And then also like the the lyricism from project to project, you could see him getting better in between albums. Like when he was doing his mixtapes, every single song you saw improvement. Like if you listen to the Carter versus the Carter 2, the lyricism was way more expansive. The flow was better. He sounded more like in command of his voice. His presence on the track was getting better. He was just improving.
I could respect that. But yeah, but it did pain me to kind of put him at 4, but it's just, I just like these artists a little bit better.
Okay, for sure. That's all I have to say on Wayne,
Word.
GOAT for sure. Arguably a top 3 most influential rapper in history. Mm-hmm. That's another conversation though. So now we get to your number 2.
Wayne. I mean, it ain't nothing but like 2 niggas left on this list. For real. You know, you knew it was gonna be one of them. So, I said that. All of the things you just said.
But just number 2.
Plus, but also me personally, I like when the motherfuckers outside. I like, I see you everywhere. You features, tapes, performances, award shows, interviews, I don't know.
For sure.
You everywhere. I
can't avoid them.
Yeah.
That's another thing that constitutes a run to me. Can you avoid the artist? All of these artists were unavoidable at their peak. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
We just got done talking about him, so
yeah, okay, I got you.
There's nothing I could say that wouldn't be the repeat of what you had just said.
Okay, I can get with it for sure.
Yeah, I just agree with everything you said. I bet you can get with it. I just agree with everything you just said.
Facts.
My number 2.
It's only 2 niggas.
Outkast.
Okay.
I mean, what
you gotta say about Outkast?
A lot. You can,
Yeah, I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because even though you could say that they were somewhat past their prime with Stankonia, even with Speaker Box and Love Below, best rap album of the year, even though it was a double album.
Best album.
Oh, best album.
Rap album and album. No, it won in general categories best album that year.
Yeah, it's only them and Lauryn Hill that ever did that.
Yep. And they weren't even 30 when they did it.
Exactly, and you could argue that they were past their prime, but they were still making waves on the culture like they were back then. Like you got songs like Hey Ya, and then Way You Move, and then Stankonia, like you mentioned, with So Fresh So Clean, and then Miss Jackson, and so on and so forth. Like
songs that are still referenced in culture to this day.
Exactly.
When we were
I
at
feel
the
like they
River
were
Dogs
timeless.
game last night, they were playing Roses. One of the players' like walk-up songs was Roses.
Yeah, I was like, what these people know about Roses? That's what I was thinking, low key.
No, for real.
But my but just for me personally, like they've always been like my top 10 favorite rappers of all time, and it's like
Rightfully so.
And it's and for me, they put a big chokehold for the reasons why you said Wayne. That was how they were for me.
Okay.
Personally, like because they put a whole chokehold and really paved the way for rappers like Wayne and for rap, like that's why a lot of my top 3s and everything is just I like the ones who paved the way and everything.
Okay.
So that's why they're at my number 2, because even though technically Stankonia isn't my favorite album from them, it still shows their growth and their development as rappers as a whole, from going from super Southern playalistic Cadillac music to upgrading HE Aliens, and then talking about Aquemini, they're more introspective. They're more introspective album than exactly. And then Stankonia talking about the culture again a little bit, and how how things in their lives have really changed and evolved, and that's why I love them so much. And just their sound with Speaker Box and Love Below, like Big Boy kind of stayed the same, but Andre really just kind of just having that creativity to start singing, and he actually sounding pretty good. And it just from Roses to Hey Ya to Prototype, it's just like all of it, you know what I'm saying? I will say this, where they kind of fell off was Idlewild. I feel like that was their own.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was their last album together and everything. And with it being a soundtrack, to be as good as it is, like you mentioned the song with Wayne. And then one song I really liked on there was it's called Morris Brown featuring Scar, their longtime collaborator, where he's singing the hook and everything. And it just, that movie overall really ain't a quick little review. The movie overall wasn't bad. I'll have to give it like a little 6 out of 10. I ain't gonna lie.
I gotta watch it.
But it's still a good fun
You
time.
ain't never seen it?
I ain't seen Idlewild now.
And with honestly, on the movie, half the some of the songs that you hear on Speaker Box Love Below are
Hey.
they are on the movie too. Like that song Church, and then Alligator. I forgot the name of it, but I think it's Bowtie. Alligators on my feet, Archtail on my back, something like that. And yeah, man, they just really carried a lot of the 2000s for me, because it's just really from So Fresh So Clean and Hey Y'all. Even though,
and you could also throw in Class of 3000.
Class of 3000 most definitely, yeah.
As a part of their run,
For
yeah.
sure, yeah.
Thank you. Class of 3000 was definitely underrated for its time. One of those 2000s Cartoon Network shows that got canceled before they could really,
get off the
ground. Yeah, like it's just, yeah, they were just timeless for me. A lot of the songs are just timeless for me personally.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
All right, we on second.
Yeah,
second. All right.
It.
My second is Eminem, Marshall Mathers, of course.
Yeah.
Not surprising at all.
I feel like because when it come to M, he started off the decade with the Mathers LP. Mathers LP is a top 10 in most people's perspective and opinion rap album of all time. That album is iconic in a way that most people could ever only hope to dream of. From the cover art, from a lot of the songs. Real Slim Shady, one of the biggest songs of all time. Stan was such a cultural moment that character and the idea that went on to be like a slang term and be put into the dictionary.
It got to the point where I was sick of hearing that song when growing up.
And it speaks to
Dear
the
Marshall,
cultural,
so and so and so and so. I was like, all right, bro.
and that speaks in and of itself to the cultural legacy of Eminem and what Eminem brought to hip hop. Because when M first came out, he was a completely different type of character. You know, we had never seen no kind of artist like this in hip hop.
Shit.
And Dre kind of taking the chance that he did and rolling the dice on him, especially when you come after Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
But you come out to sell 1 million first week, just like Wayne did. You are rapping at one of the most elite levels we've ever seen from any rapper ever on the second album. And then you parlay that into a second album later on, about 2 years later, that goes on to be the best-selling rap album of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That goes on to have songs that are just as big, if not bigger. Songs like Without Me, that we still hear in media to this day.
Yeah.
He signed 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Which, that in and of itself kind of shows you the kind of cultural cachet that M had. Because 50 was pretty much the next generation of Shady Records. And 50 himself is on this list too. Mm-hmm. So that speaks to the kind of moves that M was making. Not unlike Rockefeller with Jay. So...
Yeah, and on top of that, you got D12, Crooked Eye.
That's what I'm saying.
Royce the 5'9".
Because he's the best-selling rapper of the 2000s. He's the best-selling rapper of all time. He's the best-selling artist of the 2000s. Mm-hmm. He was easily, in his era, a top 3 lyricist at worst. Yeah. Arguably the greatest lyricist of his generation. Other than, I say Wayne and Jay. But is Jay the same generation?
Nah, not really.
No. Still cap, but we don't have time to get into that. Go ahead.
And I would say that he brought rap,
for me,
regardless of what you say, Eminem was instrumental in bringing rap to a whole new level and a whole new sort of, I guess you could say, exposure. Mm-hmm. Now, you could debate on whether that's a good or a bad thing, but M overall did push the culture forward. I mean, like publicity. Many people could never do.
Right.
And haven't done.
Right. Yeah.
He pushed culture in a way that so many people could only ever think of. And the thing also was that he came in and, you know, he was the biggest artist, but he was still respectful. He was a true student of the game. M was never about, you know, trying to act like he was better than somebody. M only wanted that respect. He only wanted that recognition as a lyricist. And he accomplished that. Mm-hmm. I would say Eminem show, as far as rapping, I think that's his best lyrical performance. That's his best overall delivery. That's his best subject matter. And he evolved over the course of that run.
I'll say this. One underrated aspect about him is his hooks.
Yeah.
Or his hooks.
His early hooks for sure.
Yeah, like what My Name Is, Without Me.
Some of the most iconic
Shady.
hooks ever, yeah.
Like, and with, but I say the best hook, even though he didn't technically sing it, was Till I Collapse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With Nate Dogg. Till the roof comes up, till the lights go up, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth.
That's what I'm saying.
Till the roof gives out, am I high perhaps?
And then you also factor in
Until the
8 Mile.
Yeah, 8 Mile, yeah.
That was a moment.
No, not Till I Collapse. What was this? 8 Mile.
Which is still quoted.
You know.
Yeah, no, I know 8 Mile. I'm thinking of the song.
To this day. 8 Mile, the rap battle, is still one of the most iconic modern movie scenes. Especially,
his real name is Clarence.
Yeah, this guy's a gangster. His real name is Clarence.
And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage.
And that's why I'm saying that just speaks to, when we talk about culture, I don't know how many people had the same kind of dominance that Eminem at his peak did.
Yeah.
Because Eminem wasn't even just like dominating rap. He was dominating culture as a whole. Because Eminem in the early 2000s was absolutely inescapable. He couldn't go nowhere. He couldn't do nothing. He was the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah.
Easily.
100%.
So for that, definitely M got to be second. Now, number one.
Obviously. It's only one motherfucker left.
Okay.
I'm going to go Outkast.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you really had to say. All right. The only thing that you really had to say was time. That was really your only dispute against them as a unit. It was just like, oh, well, just the time in which they were in. But I ain't give a fuck about none of that. For me, they didn't put out a bad album. There wasn't a group like them. There still isn't a group like them.
There will never be.
They were both equally skilled and different enough to be able to keep you right where they wanted you. One album of the year. They put the South on, for real. 95 Source Awards. I didn't even realize they were out during the 95 Source Awards.
Yeah,
the South got something to say.
Until I first saw it, I didn't even put it together that they existed at the same time.
Yeah.
And Andre don't have no hair.
Yeah, this is the very beginning. This was like right after Southern Playlistic it came out. And you know what the craziest?
Now they in the Hall of Fame.
Now, and the craziest thing about that also is that Source Awards is mostly known for that moment now, which is insane considering this was the height of the East Coast West Coast beef.
Well, yeah, but them niggas is dead.
So it's like they dead or they in jail.
Nobody is so, but not for real. Like it's nobody. It's nothing else to bring up because everything else has kind of got resolved.
Yeah.
One way or another. So the only thing left to say,
you could have led with that, honestly.
He said them niggas is dead,
but they are. So there's nothing else to really say because you talk about this person, they gone. You talk about this person, they in jail. There's nothing else to really bring up other than the fact that the South had something to say. And they did. And it got him into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, 100%.
So.
And you see their influence to this day with artists like Jid,
Earth Gang,
Thug, pretty much all of.
Even though he'd never admit it for some stupid reason.
For some dumb behind. Yeah, I don't know why. I remember seeing that.
Weird as shit.
But I feel like Atlanta, definitely, as they are today, definitely is out. I would argue Outkast is the most influential, not just Atlanta hip hop act. I would argue they are. I would go so far as to say they're top 5 most influential of all time, in my opinion.
I could agree with that.
Because the South pretty much went on to be in their image. More so than T.I., more so than Gucci. Because Future kind of took what all of them did, but the eccentricities that come from Atlanta, the eccentricities of all that, really starts with Outkast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is that all you had to say?
Yeah, that's it. I've said my piece.
Which is why my number one is honestly, from my childhood, for me personally, Kanye West, man.
Elaborate.
College Dropout. We already know. You know what? Let's just do it. We might as well just have this conversation because we already know what your number one is.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go. Who is it?
Yay, of course.
Of course, man. What can we say? College Dropout, late registration,
graduation, 808.
Mm-hmm. And then Fantasy.
Fantasy was after this.
Oh fuck. Well, you know him better than me. But yeah, man, Kanye West.
I'll let you say your piece.
Kanye West, man. Back in the day, there was a little boy named Jay, without the Z, and that little boy was me. I listened to this song called Good Morning. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know where it was coming from. But when I first heard the questions and all the statements that he was making in the album, in the song itself, it just really paralleled a lot of what I was going through at the time. You got D's, motherfucker, D's, and yet barely passed any in every class, looking at every, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, brought me to hearing songs like Stronger and then Champion. and then I Wonder. And this was when
the whole album, really.
And this is when I started listening into the whole album, and this is what made me a Kanye fan to a degree. Until I heard a lot of his antics, but we can, music.
Are you looking for my approval or something?
No, I'm just looking at y'all in general. We can separate those two.
But you only looking at me. No.
my bad.
You said we can.
How I did it. And it's like, but no, all jokes aside, that's what really brought me as a fan to him, because a lot of his songs were inspiring. They were uplifting in a lot of ways. Irony. But same thing with Late Registration and College Dropout. It really taught you never to give up. Even though the odds may be stacked against you, you got people putting you down, beating you down. Don't stay there. Keep rising, keep grinding, because eventually you'll end up flying and graduating and being the better version of yourself than they'll ever be. Not even just comparing yourself to other people, just for your own sanity, just for your own sake and your own safety. You can walk up in the spot looking fly as hell of all you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You can be anything that you want to be if you put your mind to it. And Kanye in the early 2000s, may I be specific about that, is probably the I was about to say the personification, the paragon of what putting your mind to, you know what I'm saying? And
whatever it is you're trying to do, yeah.
Like those are easily my top 3 albums from him. And I've said this many times on other videos too. Like, and then listening to Fantasy, all the other ones, and 808s and Heartbreaks most definitely, really just shows how creative he really is as an artist. Lyricism aside, I don't think he's as bad as a lyricist as some people would say he is.
I don't think people even say he's a bad lyricist.
He's just not upper echelon. Yeah. But my thing is just what his music has done for me over the years. It's a damn shame. He's not my favorite rapper of all time, but he's definitely up there for me. This is what his music has done for me in the early years. Is just really just put a battery in my back and why I decided to walk the path that I do today. And it's a motherfucking shame about what happened to him in the past couple years. But, hey, I'll let you go ahead and elaborate on that, man.
Okay, yeah. I got you. Revolutionized the sound of hip-hop before he ever even dropped his first album. The man was already influential in a way that very few were, aside from maybe a Pharrell, before he ever even had his first album. And then you get to the first album, College Dropout, arguably one of the greatest debut albums of all time. Delivered by a kid from Chicago who changed the look of hip-hop, changed the identity of a rapper, expanded on that idea. Because before Kanye, and as you see on this list, most of these guys came from a street background. Most of these guys came from an era where you had to have some sort of street credibility to be taken serious. Kanye shattered all of that with his very first album. And his continuing success with, of course, Late Registration, then Graduation, 2 of the other greatest albums of all time. So you talk about a 3-album run like an Eminem, Kanye had that. Or
in spades, really.
Yeah, or a 3-album run with Wayne. Kanye had that. And then he ends the 2000s decade with an album that went on to be arguably his most influential and important in his entire career, because that album, not only was it innovative for its time, it went on to pave the way for a whole new generation of artists, similar to what Outkast did.
Right, just from the production alone.
Exactly. And just the auto-tune, the subject matter, you see how the artists that came up after him, whether through his own label or just his influence, you see what they took from there.
Right.
And that's what I think of when I think of these all runs. Kanye kind of encapsulates all of those things. And on top of that, he ended 50 Cent's run. He ended the career of another one of these guys. And to do that at that point, when you're technically the underdog, quote unquote, because at that point, 50, like we said, was that guy for sure. And then Kanye come out and he sells 300K more than him first week, the same day. And that was kind of the end of the gangster rap sort of era being dominant in the mainstream. That was the idea that what Kanye was as an artist, he arrived. And the game was pretty much going to have to sort of assimilate to what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we saw continue to be the case for years and years after that. So when you talk about influence, you talk about quality of music, consistency, impact, Kanye got all of that in spades. From top to bottom, this was the guy that was the least likely to succeed, but he's the one that won out the most out of all of them, in my opinion.
Right, I agree.
And that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah, same here, man. Overall, I love y'all list, personally.
I don't think he would say the same about us.
No, he wouldn't.
I don't think so.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
But yeah, no,
talking about me like I'm not sitting here.
You said what?
What you say?
I see you talking about me like I'm not sitting here. You see what I'm saying?
Like you ain't right there. But yeah, no, I think overall great conversation.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Definitely great conversation. Definitely let us know where we got it right, where we didn't. Put y'all's list in the comment section, because I'm sure they have some very different opinions too.
Yeah, they hate my list.
They'd be like,
yeah,
it's subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective. It is subjectively gonna hate mine. I ain't gonna lie, but it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all gravy, baby. With that being said, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
I've been Chili Bear.
We're LATD. We got more videos coming soon. Stay tuned, man. Look at the details. God bless y'all, man. Peace.